Sawadee-Kap. So I'm calling this video the tale of two dealers. Bought a Ford Ranger truck at auction to flip. I'm driving it in the meantime, which, you know, is awesome to have a car again. And I took it to the Ford dealer right next to the auction. It's literally one next door. You gotta make the loop-de-loop because it's before it on a one-way highway, but no big deal. It's literally right next door to the auction. So when we went there, it was a Saturday. The auction was on Saturday, and the dealer was closed. So I was like, oh, there must be closed on Saturdays. I don't know why, because a lot of people work, and Saturday's a big day, but whatever. So I came back up to the condo, and I searched Ford dealers on Google Maps, and I found, need coffee. It's nighttime, and I need coffee. I found a Ford dealer literally right up the road from the condo, 500 meters. That's 5 football fields away from my condo. So I was like, cool, I'll bring the truck to them, let them do all the work that it needs, have them drive me home, and I'll come and, you know, get a grab, which is like Uber, to pick it up when it's done. Well, 3 days later, which I had mentioned during my positive action plan video, they still hadn't given me a quote. 3 days. And that dealer's called American Motors. It's on Route 1001, which bisects the superhighway, which is what I'm on. D-Condo's right on the superhighway, and 1001 goes through like the center of it, 12 o'clock. So literally 5 minutes away, 500 meters. And they're called American Motors and have a flag on their sign. And when you call the operator, it says, for English speaker, press 0. So I was like, oh, okay, they Ford dealer, they cater to Americans. Okay, that's cool. They're close to my condo. You know, I'm going to buy a lot of vehicles at the auction in the coming years. So I talked on the positive action plan about partners, getting partners, and building a network and having go-to guys for different things, right? Vendors, like think of it like a vendor list, right? So I wanted to add a Ford dealer to my vendor list. Well, 3 days to get an estimate was troublesome because it should never take 3 days to give somebody an estimate for some pretty oil change, you know, fuel filter change. The fuel filter change wound up costing me 300 baht. The oil change wound up costing me 1,500 baht. The AC cost me 100 baht because the guy did it for free. He just moved a relay from one spot to another, and I gave him 100 baht. Just, you know, thank him for his time. So, you know, all the repairs totaled up. Oh, gee, sorry. All right, this is the last time I'll do a video at night. I'm beat. But all the repairs totaled up less than 6,000 baht. So what did the 3-day estimate or quote say? 28,000 baht. So 30,000 baht is 1,000 US dollars for an oil change and fixing leaks in the air conditioning. There were no leaks. We found out a couple of days later it was a relay in the wrong place in the fuse panel. So they just made shit up because I'm a Farang. They're like, he's good for, you know, 28,000 baht. He's good for almost $1,000 for an oil change and fuel filter change and fixing leaks in the aircon that don't exist, putting in the 2 little tweeters that go up on the corner of the window. You know, that's enough. Clearing a code, right? Which it turned out it was missing a piece. Something was unplugged. But, you know, they didn't know that at that time. Maybe they did. But either way, they were trying to charge me almost $1,000. So never, ever, 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 if you live in Chiang Mai or are going to live here, go to the Ford dealer on 1001, called American Motors. The English operator is a joke. I press 0 to speak to somebody who speaks English, or for English, press 0. I tried giving the girl my phone number about 7 times to say, hey, when they get the quote, call me. And, my phone number is pretty simple. And like the first 3 numbers are 080. And I said that 4 or 5 times. And every time she repeated it back to me to show me she had it, it was the wrong number. It was 080. It's pretty simple, pretty distinct. One of the 5 attempts, she said 09 something, like 093. I'm like, okay. First of all, even if you don't really speak the language that way, you could tell that the first and the third number are the same, right? 080. It's like, so why would you ever read me 3 numbers back? You know what I mean? Like, it just shows total confusion and not being able to count to 10. Yet you're getting paid, which is a premium. That's why they don't have a real English speaker there, because real English speakers cost money, and the dealership doesn't want to pay money. So they just threw a tie in there and said, like, yeah, I speak English, and I beg to differ. She didn't speak English. So there is that. There is the ripping me off and charging me way too much money for a simple amount of work, misdiagnosing the aircon and saying it has leaks when it was really the fuse. They're just trying to squeeze as much money as they could out of me. Bad dealer. I'll never go there, and I will tell everybody I meet. I'm going to be joining the Chiang Mai Expats Club. They have 100+ members show up at their monthly meetings. I'll tell everybody I meet, don't use that Ford dealer. When I read a long time ago, when somebody has a good experience at your business, they'll tell one person. When somebody has a bad experience at your business, they'll tell 10 people. Well, me, I tell 100 people if it's bad, and I tell 100 people if it's good. That's what I do. That's all part of the networking thing that you should do, that I do as an investor. You help everybody out. Somebody needs a roofer, you recommend a roofer. You're helping the roofer, you're helping the person who needs the recommendation, who needs the work done, is looking for a good person who does good work at a good price, right? It helps everybody. That's why I do it and did it in Florida, and that's why I'm doing it here. So I will tell absolutely everybody I meet not to go anywhere near that Ford dealer. Okay, tale of 2 dealer, rich dad, poor dad, tale of 2 dealers. The second dealer is called the V Group, and it's tricky to find them a little bit because their internet presence is in Thai. So they cater mostly to Thais, even though it's Ford dealer. They don't cater to American or Farang. They cater to Thais. However, I showed up there after the disaster, after I came and took the truck back on day 4 from the bad one, American Motors. I showed up unannounced and just said, hey, can you look at the truck and give me a quote? A Thai man met me, very nice guy. He apologized for his English. I'm like, you're communicating for me. You're talking to me. You're fine. Your English is fine, dude. Relax. It's okay. We'll get through this. I'll use my little translator thing. We'll get through it. And he's like, no, please, sir, wait 10 minutes, and I get somebody help you. I'm like, okay, I can wait 10 minutes. So I go into the lounge. There's ice cream in the little cup, remember little Dixie cups, little small plastic styrofoam cups. The lid, you peel off the lid, and they give you a little tiny, small plastic spoon. I mean, can you taste it? Can you taste it right now? Little cup O ice cream. They also had like the lollipop things, the ice pop things that you squeeze, and the ice pop comes out the top, and they got vanilla and chocolate in the little cups. Big freezer like you'd see walking into a store, full, free. They also had little cakes, little puff pastries, little cakes put out under dishes. They had coffee, they had water, just nice, welcoming place. It was an easy 10 minutes while I gobbled down my little cup of chocolate ice cream. So already I was in a good mood because, I'm eating ice cream. It's nice and comfortable, AC and everything. There's a TV up on the thing to watch. And just a whole different attitude of the personnel. They didn't, glare at me when I went to pick up the truck, I actually forgot to mention this the next day on Positive Action Plan. I don't know, other than I forget everything, I don't know why I forgot, because I was burning about this. When I went to pick up the truck, the service manager, like the guy who runs the place, was fucking laughing at me. Like the dumb Farang, he's pissed. Yeah, I was fucking pissed. You're trying to charge me fucking 28,000 baht, almost $1,000 for simple shit. I mentioned I paid 1,500 for the oil change. They wanted to charge me 6,000. Fuckers. And then they're laughing at me. So that's their idea of customer service over at American Motors, is laughing at the customer. Honest to God, guys, if I hadn't mellowed with age, I would have killed somebody. I was that fucking pissed off about the whole episode, not just them laughing at me. Fuck, everybody laughs at me. I'm a giant goofball. But, it was cumulative. Those little fuckers they take them and just fucking smash their heads together. They weigh 90 pounds. What are you laughing at? My fucking thigh weighs 90 pounds. I digress. So here I am. This nice Thai dude comes up and, takes care of me, treats me right, says, please wait 10 minutes. No problem. I'll wait 10 minutes. That's cool. I'll have some ice cream. I'll chill out. And then in comes Nene. Okay, now, when I said Nene, how many of you thought, watch me whip, watch me Nene? How many? Raise your hand. How many did that? How many instantly thought of that song? Watch me whip, watch me Nene. Anyway, Nene is one of these Thai women who's larger than life. She's and I don't mean she's fat. She actually got a good body and pretty face, but she has that personality. When she enters a room, it's like, Nene's here. You know what I mean? Oh, hi, Kun Greg, hi, how are you? And she speaks great English. So here's a dealer that doesn't advertise that they have English speakers. There is no press 0 for English on their operator in call. They don't have an American flag on their sign. They're not called American Motors. They're called V Group, and on Facebook and everything it's in Thai script. But here's Nene, right? This is the lady I was waiting for 10 minutes. That the guy said, I'll hook you up with somebody who understands English. He said, my English is not so good. I get another person help you. And it was Nene. So I show her the truck. I show her all the list of stuff. And I say, can you tell me how much it's going to be? Sure, no problem. Can you wait? 10 minutes. So I waited 10 minutes for Nene. I waited 10 minutes for the quote. I got the quote, and it was reasonable. It was like 700 baht to fix the AC vent that the cleaners broke and fuck up when I got the truck cleaned. And it was like 300 baht for the speakers. I'm like, 300, that's $10. Go, yeah, go, you go, girl. Go, Nene, go. So I okayed the work, and I said, go ahead and order the speakers. And when they come in, I'll bring the truck back and we could do the air conditioning. Because at that point, I didn't know it was just the relay in the wrong place. I thought there was leaks, 13,000 baht of leaks, and I wanted to see what this dealer would charge me compared to what the other dealer would. So when I went back on the Saturday, actually, I pulled in around 1 o'clock, and once again, Nene was there. She comes running out. Kun Greg. Kun, Khun, is like Mr., like saying Mr. Greg, like they do in the South. Miss Peggy, Mr. Greg, right? It's a respect thing. So I asked if the parts were in, and she said yes, they were. And I was like, how long will it take? She said it's 1 o'clock, so 3 hours, 4 o'clock. I said, sure, no problem, cool. I'll call Jeff and see if what he's doing, if he lives a block away, because remember, he lives a block from the auction. The auction is right next to the Ford dealer. He can come pick me up, whatever. And he was actually busy right at that moment, but about hour later, he freed up, and he came in and got me, and that was the day we cleaned the yellow bike, the Filano that I bought. It had all scratches and smudges and footprints and dirt marks and shit all over it from being used for 4 years. And he had a couple of magical products, Mr. Muscle and Scratch Out, it's called, that removed 95% of that shit and made it look like a new bike. It was awesome. So I spent the most of the 3 hours scrubbing the bike. while they were working on the Ford, and they did everything. They cleaned off the airbag light. It was the seatbelt thing unbuckled. As I said, that happened before I bought the truck. So that got rid of the airbag light. They cleared it, obviously, after the seatbelt was thing. They went through the codes and cleared it. They fixed the air conditioning vent, the little up and down plastic thing that the cleaning people broke. They got the radio working. The radio had been working when I bought the truck. It stopped working when it was sitting at that Ford dealer. They had unplugged it. They had unplugged a wire. So the bad dealer, out of spite, because Fat Boy didn't want to pay him $1,000 US for an oil change. So the good dealer found it, plugged it back in. Radio works, no problem. AC has been blowing cold ever since I went down to the AC guy in San Patong, and we found the fuse issue. So they put the speakers in. They mounted the speakers. The good dealer did. You know, 3 hours, not bad. I mean, they had probably 20 Ford Rangers. I guess that's their most popular seller. They had 20 trucks in that bay, and there's, you know, probably, I don't know, 10, 12 mechanics. So I was okay with the 3 hours, especially because Jeff was close by and, you know, cleaned up the bike while I was waiting. So it was productive time. And then, you know, they washed the vehicle for free, you know, which is, it's great because they get dirty here quick. So even though I had paid 180 baht for them to break my vent and clean the car, they cleaned it, they washed it. They did a better job washing than the washing people did. So I was very, very, very happy with Nene and company. And, you know, I told her, I'll tell everybody that you did a great job, and you just did your job. You didn't treat me special from anybody else. You're just good at what you do, and you guys are a professional organization like it should be. So I found my partner. I found my Ford dealer. Remember, I was looking to get a Ford Fiesta, and it wound up going too high, 80,000 baht on 50,000 baht car. But if that had been gone for 50, 60, 55, 62, I would have got that Fiesta. And if I had something like that in the future, I'd bring it right to that Ford dealer. They earned my business. So good dealers, bad dealers. I mentioned before Jeff passes 2 Nissan dealers on the way to the one he likes. You find one that treats you right, and you give them your business and support them and tell everybody, you know, hey, this is a good place, that's a bad place. You're helping people out by doing that, because they need to know. They need to know your experiences. So that's it. Good dealer, bad dealer. V Motors, good dealer. They're in Hangdong, right on 108, right next to the auction. And the bad dealer's on 1201, called American Motors. So if you live in Chiang Mai, you know where to take your Ford. And ask for Nene. She's awesome.